In this video, I'm going to show you how to use definitions inside the TI Nspire to help us solve quadratic formula problems or quadratic equations. So in the Nspire, if we create a new document, add a calculator page, we're going to utilize the command that's built into the program called define, and we're going to define a program called QF that relies on three parameter values, A, B, and C. I'm using A, B, and C here because the quadratic formula, as we know it, is built on the coefficients A, B, and C. So we're going to tell the calculator we're defining the QF program to be equal to two different parts. Remember, the quadratic formula has a positive and negative component to it. So if we press this key here to open up our menu options, I'm going to select this option over here to get two components. So I'll click that and press enter, or we can double click it. In this first section here, I'm going to type the quadratic formula with a plus sign. So I need a fraction first, so control divide. Negative b plus square root, so we'll call that command, of b squared minus 4 times a times c. Make sure you use multiplication between these so that it doesn't think that you're talking about ac as its own parameter. And all of that should be divided by 2 times a. And I'll repeat that down below. Only this time I used a subtraction sign instead of a plus sign. So when we tap enter here, the calculator now has accepted that program and it's stored QF in there. So when I type QF this time, you'll see that it goes to bold type, and that lets me know that it's ready to perform the operation based on the three coefficients that I supply. Now if I jump over to this graphs page, you can see a quadratic's been graphed, and we may use the quadratic formula to find these two zeros of the function. So this function was created with this equation, x squared minus 6x plus 8. So that tells me we have an a value of 1, b value of negative 6, and a c value of 8. So if I type 1, comma, negative 6, comma, 8, based on how we set up our quadratic formula here, then pressing enter should produce the two results from the two different quadratic formula expressions. It does appear that the function crosses the x-axis at 4 and 2, so those answers seem trustworthy. As long as you've defined the function carefully, then this should be a nice way to quickly obtain the two solutions from the quadratic formula. This program or this definition should also work for answers that aren't so nice. So if I use coefficients of 3, 6, and negative 17, I'll get some interesting results. These are exact solutions in radical form, but by pressing Control Enter, I can get the decimal equivalents as well. So the solutions, even if they're not whole numbers but decimals, it will also work. And of course, depending upon which model of calculator you have, if you have the CAS model calculator, then you can also use this to identify imaginary number solutions as well. Hope this video helps. Thanks.